Hey, Trakkies, welcome to the Budapest Fest show. Thank you so very much for joining. And today is a hot day. You know why? Because we're going to be discussing the sprints. I know y'all have been looking forward to it. You've been preempting it. You've been jumping the gun, but you don't know we have to show love to the other events. We have a lot of Jamaicans across, the sport of track and field that are doing well. So we have to shout them out, talk about what they're coming with at trials before we get into what most people want to hear about, which is the sprints. So without further ado, track is me nah go bother keep on waiting too long to kick things off. So let's jump straight in. All right, trackies, there you saw it. That's, a little preview as it relates to the men's 100 meter sprints that will be coming up at the Jamaica Senior Trials starting the 6th of, the month of this month, which is, next week, Tuesday. So, trackies, let's get into it. Let's get into it. So, on that top list, you would have seen, of course, Akeem Blake. Akeem Akim Blake, sorry, you'd have seen Oblique Seville and of course Bawaji and Krumi. Those are the leaders in the 100-meter sprints for Jamaica thus far this season. Akim Blake at 10 point not 10. What do I keep saying 10? 9.89 seconds already running a PB. And of course, Oblique Seville 9.95 seconds and Bawaji and Krumi 9.99 seconds. Incidentally, those are the only three Jamaicans that have dipped below that 10-second barrier this season. Track is, before I go any further in my discussion, please remember to hit that like button. And of course, if you've yet to subscribe, I don't know what you're waiting on. Subscribe to the channel and don't bother make me tell you no need to hit up the super chat. You don't need an invitation. Track is hit up that super chat. All right, so let's get into it. So again, three guys that have dipped below sub 10 this season. Now track is prior to us doing this show, my sister and I, we came on and we talked about what Jamaica could possibly do in the event at trials and who we're looking to, possibly make top eight. So because my sister is not on the live with me, I'm gonna go ahead and say the eight that she had making the team at the time, and of course, what I thought at that time. So who she had Johan Blake, Akeem Blake, Oblique Seville, Boaji Nkrumah, Brian Lavelle, Sandra Davidson, Julian Ford, and Andrew Hudson. At the time, I only selected seven. I had Oblique Seville, Johan Blake, Akeem Blake, Kajan Golson, Andrew Hudson, Davante. Yes, I've been holding out for Davante, Burnett, and of course, Boaji and Crumey. Now, a lot has changed. A lot has clearly changed since then. So, we're going to discuss, what we've seen so far from the athletes and who I think is actually going to make the top eight now and who also is going to go ahead and make that top three. We have three spots. I'm going to try my best to select three. Sometimes I only select two. Actually, for this one, I think I'm only going to do two. I think I'm only going to select two and I'm going to leave one spot open. And the rest of the guys are just going to have to try their best to make it into that top two. So, what have we seen so far this season? Again, we have seen Akeem Blake run a masterful personal best, running 9.89 seconds. Expected to go much faster this season. I'm actually expecting a 9.8 low from Akeem Blake come trials. Now, Oblique Seville. You guys know I did that 9 6 video from Oblique Seville, and that is on the basis of what I saw, Zarnell Hughes doing. Zarnell Hughes came out of nowhere, and ran 9.83 seconds. Now, this is without any speed work. And of course, at the time prior to, him doing this 9.83, Oblique Civil was ahead of him. So when I took all of that into consideration, I said, but hold on there. If he's running 9.83 right now without any speed work, just speed endurance, then that no means Oblique around 9.7 already. That kind of thing. And then I started to say, then when we add on the little speed work, can we possibly get a 9.6 out of Oblique this season? Now, a lot of people reminded me that, last season, Glenn Mills did come out and say, Oblique Civil can run a 9.6. So can we see that 9.6 this season? Can we see that trials? I'm looking forward to see what, he comes with at trials. I'm expecting something super fast as well. Boaji and Kumi. He unfortunately, had an injury into Carifta that took him out for a few months. So because of that, I did see his race, his comeback race, and I don't know if he's gonna make it in time to make this top eight, this final. So I actually no longer have him into my top eight, not because he's not good enough, but because he had that injury, and that's a setback for the athletes. And based on what I'm seeing everybody else do, I'm not having him make that final. So only two people so far make my finals. That's interesting. Let's see, Johan Blake always turns up, so I'm expecting Johan Blake to turn up again. Last year he turned up and shocked everybody and won that race. Winning it this time around, I'm not really seeing him winning it. I don't see anybody beating Oblique. Based on my expectations, I'm not seeing anybody beating Oblique, but you never know. So I definitely have Johan Blake turning up as well. DeAndre Daly, surprisingly, he may surprise and make that final. I didn't have him before, but now, based on that personal best that he ran at 10.08, I have him sneaking in. Michael Campbell, oh my God, he's been back on the rise. I'm excited. Can he make the finals? Let's see. Cajun Colson. So all of these guys are sitting on 10.08 so far this season. Cajun Colson also has looked good this season, running very consistent. For me, I really want to see start get much better. In the event, I've talked about it multiple times. I don't like the running back kind of thing. So he definitely has to get his start better, but I do still have him making the finals. Andrew Hudson, we haven't seen anything of Andrew after those 10.12s and 10.07s. I think I was saying in the last video, in the 200 video, that his PB is 10.12. Actually, it's 10.07. But we haven't really seen him post that. So I'm not really sure what he's coming with, but I'm hoping that he's at his best. So if he's at his best, I still have him making the team. No, the question is, Wagwan fi the elite people them. We hear say the elite people them are gonna come for down stadium. So the likes of Julian Ford, the likes of Shashen Dennis, what can we possibly expect from these athletes? I'm seeing a few of these elite athletes make it into the finals. I'm seeing Julian Fort based on what I'm hearing. I'm seeing Julian Ford, possibly Sasha Dennis as well, making it into the finals. Who did I scratch from my finals? Okay, Davante. I haven't really seen anything from Davante at all, so I don't even know what to make of it. I don't know if he's entered, so I think I'm just gonna remove him from my list so far this season, right? And I did remove Buaji in terms of making the top eight. So who are we left with? Yeah, I think I probably named eight people from that. So from this, who is getting the top three positions? Wow, I said I'm only gonna call two. So right now, I'm going with Akeem Blake and Oblique Seville. Flip the order, Oblique winning, Akeem second. The question is who is taking third. Now, I would typically give Johan Blake his solid third place, but the other guys are catching up. There's not such a big gap anymore, and I'm looking to see multiple guys deep into sub 10, right? So it's gonna be sticky. It is going to be sticky, especially if elite has something to spring, a surprise to spring on the athletes. It is going to be very, very, very sticky, indeed. So I'm gonna leave that spot open leaving it open, and the persons that can possibly jump into that spot is Johan Blake, Andrew Hudson. Why am I do I have three fingers? That's two. Andrew Hudson. I'm gonna go with um Julian over Session. Hmm. Okay, so that's three. I'm just gonna do three people I'm putting in that spot. So track is there you have it. The sprints are going to be hot. It's going to be fast. I'm expecting a lot of PBs in this race. Save Johan because, he's a 969 athlete. Don't really have him getting back to that 969. But you never know. Maybe he could surprise. But yeah, so since I don't have any guests on today, I can take a few comments before I jump into the next event. So let's see here. Um, Hey Ryan, what's up? Keisha, hey. Hey, Sharnette, Victor, hey Basil. Um, where's my sister? Not clearly on the live. Who might run a 9-9. Might have a 9-9 in him for trials. I'm hearing that they're coming with something special. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm looking forward to seeing a few personal bests coming out from the trials. Absolutely. Then what else do we have here? To be honest, now that you mention it, has Davante run 100 meters this season? No, I haven't seen him run any. He was slated to run one of those opening races with Christian Coleman this season, but they pulled out. Maybe it was an injury or maybe they're just saving him. I'm not sure. But yes, I have not seen him. And I was really, really looking forward to seeing him show up. He had his injury issues last season as well. Sometimes track is the sport is just so unforgiving. Again, you give it your all and sometimes you just don't get anything in return. Yeah. So I'm just hoping for good things from him though. Hopefully he turns up. You never know. You never know. Um, Zarnel has 200 meter strength, finishes stronger. Oblique does not have finishing strength. Akeem may have a win at trials. Julian or Johan. Um, Julian or Johan for second. Is that what you're saying, Keisha? How long has the live been on? We've been on for 12 minutes, so we haven't been on for that long, Albert. Um, Oh my gosh, I'm losing the count here. Okay. Oh yes, we can't count out Andrew. Right. I definitely have Andrew in. He's been looking really, really good. And he's definitely a really strong contender for me, especially over that 200. I have him doing things that will challenge, the best in the world over, well, maybe not Noah Lyles, but the second best in the world. Somewhere around 19 sevens I'm expecting from him this season. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he comes with at trials. Who else? Let's see. Zarnel, after over a decade, has 12 sub tens. Oblique has 9 sub 10s. Yeah, I don't know. I just have Oblique doing something special this season. I could be wrong, trackies, but either way, I'm expecting a personal best from Oblique Civil. So even if he doesn't go into 9 6s, that's fine. That is fine. Let's see a personal best. I'm expecting that much. So next comment. Oblique wins, no looking around this time. Oh my god. In preparation for this video, I was looking for some clips from Buaji and Kumi, and he's now a pro. I'm hoping to see that looking around thing put behind him. No more. I know these, and let me tell you something about these men. I know them not feel themselves, them get hype and everything else under the sun. No problem. However, when you're in the race, just execute your race and not bother with the looking around business. I really don't like that. Oblique is still doing it after all these years, of being a pro. Boaj is, at the same camp. So, I don't really want them to continue this quote unquote bad habit. I really, really want to see, him start looking forward and executing his race completely. You know what I mean? The look around thing, you left that a chance and start moving forward. Yeah. Let's see. I think Akeem will have the better of oblique at trials due to race sharpness, but I feel oblique will have the better at world championships. That's a possibility. Plus, also, I do believe that oblique no Akeem Blake is mentally tougher in terms of being able to handle pressure better, in my opinion, because he consistently runs against world class athletes where we don't really have that from Oblique Seville. So I think Oblique Akeem may handle pressure a bit better than Oblique. But let's see. Um Oblique winning 9-8 low or a high 9-7. That's a possibility as well. Third place is tough because we have a lot of men running um to run sub tens. I agreed. Everton, hey, blessed Sabbath to you as well. Let's see. Your somewhat predictions with the men's 100 meters I can agree with. Notice Oblique hasn't competed for several weeks. That man will drop something special come trials. I'm expecting something really special. No Julian or Johan for third. Okay. All right. Understood. Hudson has not run all season. He ain't making it. He has run, but again, for whatever reason, and I have not seen any indications on his social media platform that speak to injury. So I'm hoping that he is at his best and he turns up well. Remember, Chuck, is we haven't seen a few high profile athletes running that much either. So if we're going to use one brush to brush some athletes, then might as well use the same brush for the other athletes as well, unless they have indicated otherwise. So if they have not indicated that they're injured, then I'm hoping that they're at their best, and let's see what happens. Let's see. Where am I? Where am I? Where am I? He ran a couple races. Yes, he did. Shelly hasn't competed all season either, and she will make. We haven't reached that yet. So right, I agree with the whole same brush for all of the athletes that have we haven't seen, unless they have indicated that, look here, I'm not good, then I'm not gonna automatically assume that they're not good. I think sometimes we're a little too pessimistic as well. Let's see. DeAndre Daly looks impressive. I agree. He definitely looks 100% impressive. You know, taking that spot on in my top eight that I had for Boaji. Let's see. Jamaica Trials, men's top six finish. Oblique, Akeem, Johan, Julian, Taekwondo, Buaji. Who is Adra? I don't know who that is. Um, a key mental aspect of his race has improved from last year. He was so nervous at the World Championships last year. That's what it happens when you're racing consistently with the best. It will sharpen you. So, and he has that killer instinct. I like the mentality when he's running. I like seeing that killer instinct, and he clearly has it. So, you know. Um, it's good for Akeem. Let's see here. Shelly can All right, we're not going into the women yet. Andrew indicated on Twitter that he's all right and he will be at trials. Okay. So let's not jump the gun and say athletes are not well, you know. I'm excited because again, our 200 meters is very bleak, very, very bleak. So I'm looking forward to seeing him 100%. All right. So that's it for the men's 100 meters. So you heard my predictions. My predictions are Oblique for the win, Akeem for a second, and I'm leaving third place open for three people. I'm leaving it open for um, Johan, Julian, and I think I said Andrew Hudson. So let's see how that goes. All right. So let's head on into something that y'all have been waiting for, waiting with bated breath to discuss. The women's 100 meters. This is going to be a showdown. Yes, track is there. You saw it. Those are the leading three females that we have this season: Sharika Jackson, Alana Reed, and Shasha Lee Forbes. Now, track is. It doesn't necessarily have to go that way, similar to what we saw with the men. Different women leading right now. We may see a flip when trials comes around. And I'm expecting quite a few women to step up to the plate at trials. No, as I said, Sherika Jackson is leading so far 10.78 seconds. Then in second place, of course, we have Alana Reed, 10.92 seconds. And of course, Shashali Forbes, 10.98 seconds. Now, trackies, those are our top three athletes so far this season in the women's 100 meters. Now, we have four athletes that have dipped below sub 10 this season, sub 11, sorry, this season. So I'm going to throw in Kiara Grant. She has run 10.99 seconds this season. However, we have quite a few athletes that will be showing up, turning up, and ready to show out. So we have the likes of Kevona Davis, we have Brianna Williams, we have Natasha Morrison, we have Ashanti Moore, we have Kemba Nelson, we have Natalia Wyatt, we have Janelle Smith. And of course, we have Tina Clayton. We have Elaine Thompson Hira. We have Serena Cole. We have Ramona Burchell. We have Tia Clayton. Trackies, we have too much athlete for name. We have so many female athletes this season in the women's 100 meters. And you know what? Save the ones that have dipped below that 11-second barrier. As a matter of fact, let's minus only Sharika, right? Everybody is pretty much clumped up into that one little barrier together. So who are we gonna which athletes, you know what? Let me start with, top eight. Let's take it there. Which athletes make it into top eight before I talk about top three? So let me see. I'm gonna go with Sharika. I'm gonna go with Alana. I'm gonna go with, let me use my fingers. So Sharika, Alana. I'm gonna go with Elaine. I'm gonna go with Brianna. I'm gonna go with, who am I missing? Let's start again. Sharika, Alana, Elaine, Brianna, Tina. So that's five. Let's see. Janelle. Um, let's see. That's six. I have two more slots. Let's go with Ashanti and Shashali. That's my eight. Okay. So I've given you eight trackies. I've given you eight athletes that will make the top, obviously make the finals at trials. Now, from that eight, who do I have making top three? So far, again, the only athlete that has really separated herself from the pack is Sherika Jackson. Now, of course, we have Alana Reed that has run a masterful personal best at champs, running 10.92 seconds. Can she go faster? She is also a professional athlete. No, Shashali Forbes having the season of her life as well, running great this season, and also, run a personal best, dipping below 11 seconds for the first time this season, running 10.98 seconds. Of course, we have Kevona. Did I add Kevona? I don't think I added Kevona. We have Brianna Williams. Finally, coming back from that injury that she suffered and looking like she's going to make it in time to do something really good at trials. Now, also, we have Ashanti Moore that has been very, very, very consistent this season, running around her personal best, which is 11.10 seconds. I'm also expecting another personal best from her this season or at trials. I'm also expecting another personal best from her. Then we have Janelle Smith. Janelle has been looking really good this season. She's at 11.13 seconds. I'm expecting her to also turn up and be in personal best shape. Then, of course, we have the persons that we haven't really seen or haven't really impressed thus far. We have Tina Clayton. We hear say, they're on an MVP. They might cook up something really, 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 really nice when it comes to Tina Clayton. And I'm expecting it. I'm expecting her to come out and do something really good. She stands right now with a personal best of 10.95 seconds from last season. Right now, Alana Reid has overtaken her, has become the national record holder. I'm expecting at trials that will be changed. I'm expecting that she will come and decimate that time and dip into 10.8 seconds. So, then we have Elaine Thompson here. Now I know a lot of people are saying she hasn't looked good. They're talking about, her quote unquote short, her being short of background training work. But you know what? Something Elaine said um, on her interview. She said she hasn't really changed. She hasn't changed anything. Right? Say the fact that she's changed her coach. We know that. She said that I haven't changed anything. So clearly they're still using the MVP blueprint when it comes to training, which most clubs use. I mean, most of these clubs that have segue from MVP, they're all using that blueprint. You know what I mean? So there's nothing wrong with them using that blueprint. So my assumption is that she knows what she's been doing in background training all the years prior to her leaving MVP. So why would she suddenly not be doing what she was doing before in background training? So, I don't really, believe that quote unquote short of background training thing. And I do believe also that she's playing possum because something that I've learned over the years watching track and field is that when it comes to your warm up, you don't short, you don't go short on your warm up. You don't half it. You do your warm up. You do a full warm up when you're warming up for a race. Regardless of however you're going to do the race, when you're warming up, you warm up the correct way, right? So when I watched that warm up video, I spoke of it when she did her first race. The warm up video versus the race was a stark contrast to me. It was so different, right? What saw in the warm up told me that I could get a sub 11. What I saw in the race was something completely different. She just came out and she just slightly lifted her feet and ended the race. Not really giving me anything at all, right? So I'm kind of, of the thought process that she is playing possum to a certain extent. Now I know a lot of you are probably thinking, no, that's not the case. She's done and dusted. You never know. You never know. But for me personally, everybody can hold their own opinion. For me personally, I do believe that she was playing possum slightly. So when trials comes, she has no choice but to run, and we will see at that particular time what she really has to offer. So there you have it. That's my top eight. I don't even remember who I put in my top eight, but I'm just gonna jump into top three. All right. I'm looking at a certain set of athletes for top three. I always do this. I'll select a group and then we try to figure out who is going to make it out of that group. So right now, let's shorten down that top eight to maybe 4/5 athletes. So I'm going to shorten that group. I'm going to go with Sharika, Elaine. I'm going to go with Tina. I'm going to go with Brianna. And I'm going to go with, okay, Alana. Those are my top five. Those are my top five. Yep, 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 yep. Those are my top five. Yeah, I haven't really seen much from Kemba this season. Heard that she was injured. I was hoping that she would get back. But yeah, I'm not really seeing her do anything what she did last season. In this again, she could surprise, but because we've heard that, Elite is coming with something special. So maybe we're jumping the gun and thinking that Kemba, sorry, is not 100%. But so far, that's my five. As a matter of fact, I may whittle it down to four. But anyway, that's my five. Those are my five athletes. So from that, I need to get three. Now, the only clear separation, as I've been saying so far, that I see is Sherika Jackson. She's the only athlete so far that has separated herself from the pack in terms of times done so far this season, right? So I'm expecting her to show up and, be in personal best shape. Now, her personal best is 10.72 seconds. no, 7-1 seconds. So we're expecting anything fast, anything that is that or faster. Faster is the 10-6 that we've been waiting to see. From last year we've been preempting this 10-6. Can we get it at trials? I'm hoping that we get it to trials leading into the World Championships. Now for the other athletes. I said, you know what? They need to at least give me a 10-8 low. So Tina, Elaine, Brianna, and Alana. And I'm actually gonna drag back yeah, I'm gonna keep Alana back a bit because I honestly don't see her going that much faster than her 10:92 that she's already posted, to be honest. So yeah, I'm gonna put four athletes instead of five, right? So I have four athletes that I'm thinking that will be able to challenge for those three spots. Sharika, as I already spoke of, I'm expecting a personal best. I am expecting a personal best from Brianna as well. Brianna, I didn't think, as I said, she would make it in time, but that 11:04 that she ran a few weeks ago told me, okay, she can make it into that 10:8. Plus, she went on further to go and went to the New York Grand Prix and also ran at 11:04. And from my understanding, she wasn't quote unquote 100% in terms of how she was feeling that day, but she still turned up and she ran at 11:04. So that tells me that Brianna is right on par to break into that 10.8, and that will also be a personal best for her. But will it be enough? That is the question. Tina Clayton, another magnificent starlet that we have here in Jamaica. She is one of those, again, people with that killer mentality. She definitely has that. I'm expecting her to show up and I'm expecting her to be in personal best shape. I'm expecting a 10-8 low from Tina. Let me tell you something. I saw a little American girl there running 10.89, and Tina had dusted her last year. Right? No, don't get me wrong. Yes, you compare two athletes, but I will in this case. I'm expecting Tina to, after trials, be the fastest junior in the world, right? I'm expecting that. So I'm expecting a 10-8 low. Next question now is Elaine Thompson here. The question is how much possum is she actually playing? In my opinion, I said she was playing possum. So if she had played possum, she clearly better than what she was showing us, right? So okay, in my opinion, she needs at least, and this is a bare minimum for somebody of Elaine's caliber, at least a 10-8 low. I'm saying she needs to pull out at least a 10-8 low to make the team. She could surprise me and be back to her best. You never know. And, be challenging Sharika. If she's challenging Sharika, then there's no question about it in terms of her making the team. But again, if she's in that 10-8 ranks, then she's going to have to contend with Tina and Brianna for a spot. So track is, there you have it. I have one clear spot separated. Then I have three athletes that should go for two spots. And as you know, three cannot go into two. So who makes the team? So track is, there you have it. That's my take as it relates to what's going to happen. Let's take a look at your comments based on what I've been saying. All right. Where was I last time? I don't even know where I was. I'm gonna have to scroll back up. Okay, here we go. Okay, all right. So Peter says, top six: Elaine, Sharika, Brianna, Tina, Shashali, and Alana. TM calling it now. Jamaica will have a crazier 100-meter men competition at trials this year than the USA. I agree. We will see several sub tens in the heats. Heats. I'm hoping that they're not giving me those subtons in the heats. But yeah, semis and finals, people are gonna ball, I feel. I'm expecting to see the sub tens definitely come semi-final when they have to kick things up a notch. I'm hoping that they know how to manage rounds and not to do too much too soon. You don't need to do a sub 10 in a heat. They can do, those 10 lows in the heat to make it through. I do not see the necessity to do a sub 10. Especially for the athletes that are on the lower end of the spectrum in terms of PBs. If, Oblique does a sub 10 or Akeem, or even a Johan, I'm fine with that. Those athletes have dipped below 9 seconds already, right? However, I'm not expecting athletes that have not PB'd past sub 10 to be dropping a sub 10 in the heat. That would be, crazy to me and not necessary. So I'm hoping that they manage their runs properly and just do enough in the heats. Then they can unleash, because a semifinal sometimes it's harder than a finals, because you have to literally go all out sometimes to try to make the team, because you don't want to make a mistake and get left out. So I will understand, when they step things up in the finals, but definitely in the semifinals, sorry, but not in the heats. I don't want to see people doing too much too soon in a heat. USA is very good, very known for that a lot. I don't want to see Jamaicans doing that, not at all. Um, let's see. Someone finally predict right. What did Peter say? Okay, okay, I see what Peter said. Um, I agree with this down to the T. I'm hoping it happens. Our Elaine third puts that good. True athletes, and this looking around on your opponents is arrogant. Yeah, it's a little bit of arrogance, but I'm hoping that they drop those things, because they're not that there's no gap between them and the rest of the world. It was fine when Usain Bolt was doing it because he had a gap on the rest of the field. The juniors, when they're running against the best in the world, they don't have a gap on the rest of the field, because again, we still have that young athlete from Botswana that is dominating in the junior ranks. So again, I would like to see that end, since champs is done and dusted. Let's see here. Elaine Sharika Alana. Okay. All right. Has the start list been released for trials? I haven't seen it yet, but I'm hoping by tomorrow I'll be able to see it, so that I can come out and do some other videos as it relates to that. Let's see. What else do we have? Chuckies, please remember to be liking up the stream, like the videos. Yeah, that's how the YouTube algorithm works. So definitely drop a like. Sharika to Tina to hmm, Sharika to Tina to Brianna Kemba Reed. What are we talking about here? Is that your top five? One, two, three, four, five. Okay. All right. If you find it soon, please send me it. Hmm. The women's 100 meters at trials is wide open, even though we all have our favorites. We have not seen Christina Williams. I have not seen her as well. Not sure what she's up to. Hello, Shem. Ramona in the finals, okay. Last time I remember seeing her is early last year. Okay, that's for Christiania. So Albert's top eight is Sharika, Elaine, Brianna, Kemba, Tina, Alana, Sasha Lee, Natasha, or Janelle. What's the difference that I had in here? I don't think I had Kemba, so I obviously had some difference here. I just don't remember who I selected, but yeah. Oh, I had Ashanti. Yeah, I had Ashanti. So I didn't have Kemba and I had Ashanti, right? Um, okay, let's keep going. I think I'm heard that Natalia is not in the 100, not entered for the 100. She's throwing all her cards, I think, in the 200. Either her or Ashanti, one of them. They're not entered in the 100. I'm thinking it's Natalia. Yeah. So top eight. Peter says it is Sharika, Elaine, Alana, Brianna, Kemba, Tina, Kevona. Okay. Analai, Albert, balling this season. All right. Um, So Dr. JD Smith says 11.23 with a 1.5 meters per second wind. In addition to her video, which she expressed she is nervous and evidently panicking. Why are we still assuming she is playing possum? 400 in 400 meter. I guess you meant okay, that's outdoor. 60 indoor, 200 meter, all well below par. Okay, Dr. J. Smith, that's your opinion. I appreciate that. Um, Coach is X, where are you, sir? T has Tina beating Brianna. Oh wow. Ah boy, I really love Brianna and Tina, so I find it hard to choose between them. No, I think I said I have them running 10-8 lows. It's who runs the fastest 10-8 low. Oh boy. And I said I had Tina being the fastest junior. Remember, Brianna is no longer a junior. So I'm comparing Tina to what Alana has done, plus what the rest of the world has done, from a junior perspective. Um, let's see. I choose Brianna over Tina. No offense, but I believe in Brianna. I believe in all of them. Hey coach, again, where are you, sir? I thought I invited you. um, let's keep going down. Let's see. See me excited to tell. I'm excited. I'm kind of nervous as well. When we get closer to these kind of championships or trials, I get really, really nervous. It's as if I'm part of the event as well and I'm running. I don't know for what reason I'm so nervous, but yeah, I get very, very, very nervous. So you're gonna be seeing me clenching my fist, trying to figure out, okay, who is it? Who is it? Who is it? But at the end of the day, whoever makes it, I'm gonna be supporting them 100%. I always tell you all, trackies, they're Jamaicans at the end of the day. From our perspective, I'm assuming that most of us don't, quote unquote, have a connection with these athletes, not family. So our job is to support, you know what I mean? And be supportive of everyone and not come on and be angry just because your favorite didn't make it. You know what I mean? Um, let's see here. This year, trials is one of the most anticipated. It is very much so. Tina is a championship athlete who knows how to peak, knows how to run runs, and how to run relays. I wouldn't bet against her. She put Liston's fangirls to shame last year. Low 10-8 is possible. Oh my gosh. Are you trying to diss me, Albert, by calling me a Liston fangirl? Elaine won't make the final, much less make the team. Okay. Our trials are gonna have more drama than the World Championships as well as the US trials. Watch. Um, maybe, possibly. Elaine is playing. All right. Let's just skip some of these. Elaine will run 10-8. She has 2 rounds before the finals to get it together. Sharika will be first. Brianna and Tina will battle for a third spot, in my opinion. Okay, Matty. Sorry, T, but most 100-meter male sprinters don't know how to manage rounds. They go all out each round, then act shocked when they lose in the final. Okay, again, that is an American thing, not a Jamaican thing, right? Jamaicans have learned how to run rounds from their champs days. So I'm not expecting to see no Jamaican athlete breaking their neck, especially the top guns, breaking their neck in a heat when they don't need to. I would be shocked if I see that. Um, when trials start, trials is between the 6th and the 9th. So that's next week Tuesday, or yeah, no, this week Tuesday, not next week. Um, Elaine has the experience to manage the rounds. Yes, she does. Um, Team, miss everything. Who are your top four? I don't even remember. On the male side, I have Johan. No, sorry, I have Oblique winning and Akeem second. Then I have 3 people sitting into the third spot. It's Johan, it's Julian, and it is Andrew Hudson. For the women, I have Sharika separating herself just because I haven't seen enough from Elaine to think otherwise. I have then I have Tina, Brianna, and Elaine battling for those last 2 spots. Yeah. Where can I get the schedule? You have to check the J3's websites. Where am I? I think I've jumped out some stuff. Okay. Okay, there's where I am. Okay, so Tina. So let's see. I'm expecting Brianna and Tina to run low 10-8, but with Alana, depends on who she runs with in the heat and make it to the semi. She has to run really hard. Yeah, that's the thing with junior athletes when they step up to the senior ranks, they pretty much have to run close to their PB each round. So yeah, I don't know if I'm expecting to see much faster than her 1092, to be honest. She can go faster. I don't know. I just don't think I'm expecting that much faster. Um, let's see. Du-du-du. Sharika, Brianna, Tina. Okay, that's your top three. All right. Um, the number three spot gonna be a surprise. Okay. I don't see Brianna running 10-8 in trials, maybe 10-9-8. Okay. Alana and the Clayton twins are entered in the junior trials, not the senior. And also Serena Cole. Are you sure Saint Best family? Because I already heard of some time ago that he is entered. Um, that Tina, sorry, and Tina alone is entered for the senior trials, whilst um Tia is entered for both the senior and the junior section. Well, I don't think it's junior section, but not, yeah, junior section, nakak. Under 20 or under 23, whichever one it is. As it relates to, who else did you say? Where's my screen jumping? Okay. As for Alana, it would be strange to me if Alana enters only the knockout section. She can enter the senior section, because remember, track is there's also the possibility or the opportunity to make the relay team. And I did talk about this on Coach's Decks, where I said Alana can be world whatever, whichever medal we get in the world championships relay, she could be Alana world whatever medalist Alana Reed, you know what I mean? I don't think anybody's gonna pass up that opportunity. Oh, let me jump in and add Coach's Dex here. He's onto the stream. Hey coach, welcome, welcome, welcome. Why am I seeing Keith
Hey,
Wellington? What is happening? This is J3S president here.
no, I using my phone. I add him to a stream when he called in, so I have not.
Okay,
So
okay.
let me change it before people start thinking something different.
So coach, question. Did you have him recently on your show? Oh, he's busy making the change. All right, give me a second. He's so answer that. All right.
Recently,
Uh-huh. Was it
I,
recent?
I think it was in the time of the changes that were made to the overseas base. At least joining champs. I think there was a rule change.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
No,
was
because
then.
I had this really stinging video yesterday, and I was wondering if you had him on after that, because I was like, if I knew, I would have been on stream to ask a few questions.
No, I didn't. It wasn't that time. It was before.
Okay, okay. All right, so coach, you're late. We've
Or
pretty much gone through everything. So let me know your thoughts, sir. Please start with the men. What are your top eight?
my,
And of course, if you can get to the top three.
you hearing me?
No, I didn't hear you. Sorry. Say that again.
Top eight is kind of sticky for me, but top, top three,
Mm-hmm.
top three, Blake
Which Blake?
and
You're breaking up,
uh,
coach.
yeah, but somebody I try to call me, but them as me come on panel is stream somebody I try to call me.
All right, coach, we'll be back. So let me just read some more of these comments. Um, so right, Saint Bess, I was saying that I think it's only Tia that is entered in the Nakak section. Maybe also Serena. I'm not sure about Serena, but I'm sure Alana would be trying her hand at the senior team, and for sure Tina. Yeah. So let's see. Me want Sharika, Elaine, and Brianna for the top three, cause I think they make the best relay along with Shelly. Ha ha ha. Okay. All right, welcome back, coach.
Come on,
You can always tell me what you have to say. No, okay, Chucky, sorry about that. Just to let you know, coach's Dex is on the stream now. As usual, you don't know the thing, go always head over and subscribe to his channel um here on YouTube. So without further ado, coach, let me know your top three.
All right, I won't be long either, because I need to get some
Okay,
break,
no problem.
a little more much. Um, I'm not too long reaching. Had a
Mm-hmm.
rough day. Tired. This allergy thing acting up again, witching for me. Um,
Gosh.
in terms of the 100 meters for men,
Mm-hmm. You're gone, coach. You're muted.
okay, the 100 meters for men, Civil and Blake. The other
Which
Blake,
Blake?
not your one,
Okay.
but the top three, the third person, it might be a jumbled thing where you have Johan Blake, you have Devonte Burnett, somebody I don't know who, but the
Avante's entered, coach. I know you saw the entry list. He's entered?
Burnett.
Yeah.
I think I can't recall definitively, but I think I remember seeing his name.
Because I was just talking about him, because I was looking out for him because he was in my top eight originally, but because I haven't heard anything, I wasn't really sure, which is why I took him out. But I'm glad to know that he's possibly entered. Anyway, you can continue.
Yeah, man, I think I saw his name. Um, so for me, the third place is gonna be bunched, and it's basically who wants it the most. I think some persons might settle just to be on the relay team.
Mm-hmm.
You have a Taekwondo Tracy who wants to be in the mix as well. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot, but in terms of quality, there's not much quality. I think the Blakes and to
So you're not expecting some sub tens from the other guys,
yeah, man. But in terms of
but that's quality.
mm, I don't know. I don't know. It depending on the condition. Conroy Jones is on the cusp. What's his name again? You have Cadrian Golson from GC Foster. You have what's his name? That young prodigy that people expected.
DeAndre,
No man. He's in the elite camp as well.
Sashen.
Captain Dennis, yes.
Uh-huh.
So you have some people in and around the cusp of sub 10, but
Mm-hmm.
will they get it? I don't know what the conditions is gonna be, but I know the national stadium is like bipolar when it comes on to con.
Sometimes, yeah.
So the quality, yeah, I still feel they have to surprise me. They have to surprise me. I said last year that a few persons were gonna be going sub 10. It
Mm-hmm.
was done not a lot, but this year they're on the same trajectory, and it could be a case where they don't or they do. So for me, they have to basically surprise me.
All right. What about times though from the top guys now, from you, from
Nah,
Oblik
nah,
and from Akeem?
I don't normally predict times, because
Give me
time.
a range, man, coach. Stop move, so give
Nah,
me a
man.
range.
No, me nah jinx it out, because you see, for me, time has to do with the condition, the execution,
Uh-huh.
and all of these things. So I don't like to go and say, even when Usain Bolt was running, I didn't predict any time for him. I just
Uh-huh.
predict his placing. So
Okay. All right. No problem.
still hold
Well,
on.
there's something called commentators curse too, We might be out here talking certain things out and we might jinx them for true.
Yeah, yeah. So me not normally predict times. If a fast
All
time comes
right.
on the conditions and execution, then I'll
Uh-huh.
take it. But going into a championship, you try to tell athletes about their position, their placing, rather than time.
Mm-hmm.
Fast time come, then it comes.
All right. No problem. What about the women now?
The women, Sherika Jackson easily. Think she
Mm-hmm.
separates herself from the field again.
Mm-hmm.
Brianna Williams shows some signs
Mm-hmm.
of wanting to break the ice, uh,
Right.
in making an individual, taking an individual spot. Same thing for Kemba. She's on the cusp. You have uh, Sasha Lee Forbes. She has to repeat that sub. You have Chiny, which is, what's her name there again, man?
Who?
From MVP.
Tina?
No,
Oh, you not Natalia, Janelle?
no, Janelle. Yeah, Janelle is one of them I want to mention. What's her name, man? She has a sub.
Um,
What's she name again, man? Shiny
this
Minoras. But
year?
no, I don't think she have one this year. But what's her name?
Oh,
She
Natasha.
Natasha Morrissey. Yes.
Oh.
She should be in the mix. I think probably people always ask something to fear ahead. But again, it's all to how these athletes go out and execute.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a wave of athletes. I know Tina has entered for the senior ranks. I'm
Mm-hmm.
hearing talks of something special,
Mm-hmm.
but I know our front of program go based off watching and observing and studying. He
Mm-hmm.
not normally get a breakthrough athlete in a first year, but sometimes he doesn't
Okay.
have the talent like a Tina, or he doesn't take the
Mm-hmm.
talent like a Tina. So it might be a
Mm-hmm.
different
Right.
worm
Because
for
he's
this
starting
type
from
of
lower down
right.
previously because he wouldn't have the quote unquote talent, but now he has the talent, so the expectation should be higher, I
Right.
assume.
But but I know when it comes on to training programs and regime, the
Mm-hmm.
athletes it depends on the athletes' adaptability, how quickly they will adapt to the system, to the training
Right.
program. Will as Tina adapted to the program, I don't know as yet. I've not seen any glimpse of any special time to say that she has adapted. So I'm using that to say she might be on the fringe as well. In the
Mm-hmm.
top three, it's gonna be difficult for her. But again, it is Stephen Francis. But because it is Stephen Francis, his charges don't normally show up in the first year. So it can go both ways for his charge. Especially a young Tina. Um yeah, it is again like the men, the second and third spot, they're gonna be bunched up. Elaine is in with a shot as well as an experienced one. I think she might depending on how I observe her first round, she might be the one to take second and then everybody has battled it out for the third position again, like last year. So I'll never rule her out, especially in the 100 meters this season.
You remember Kemba took second last year and Elaine was third.
Yeah, man. So yeah, she'll be battling. I think, yeah, right in and around that region. Sherika 10 step ahead, and then whosoever will let them come.
Okay, all right, no problem, not a problem. And of course, you're not gonna try to predict any times. So you're not gonna let me know if you know if Sharika can do a PB.
A PB, she might. I think they will go for it at trials, just to see where she is. So she
Mm-hmm.
have a step on the accelerator, I believe, because they want to run that 10-6 and send a
Mm-hmm.
signal to the world. If
Right.
it does a 10-6 at trials, people in our wars,
Yeah, for sure.
worries people in our Sherika run a 10-6 at trials, people in our worries. So
Mm-hmm.
let us see what will transpire. And again, the time for me has to do with the conditions, wind reading, execution. Of course, we know that Sherika is not the best technically because of what she used to do. So
Mm-hmm.
can't really call any time with her.
So meaning that if she messes up the first part of her race, I think somebody said this to me when she ran that race against Talo that she lost, and somebody said the type of athlete that she is, if she messes up a part of her race, she wouldn't be able to quote unquote run on like say a traditional sprinter for lack of a better term. Is it, do you think that's the case or do you think otherwise?
She has the top end speed, but with with caliber athletes, it's not gonna be easy
Mm-hmm.
for her to run past them. because it like a Talu, sometimes I wonder if that was deliberately done because of
Mm-hmm.
what happened at the Racers Grand Prix. Persons might be thinking that she false started. RDD, I don't know where he's at, but um, I don't know if it was deliberately done. But again, if she doesn't get it the start at a consistent level,
Mm-hmm.
that elusive 10-6 might not come. And
Mm-hmm.
if she's better than the field, of course she'll run past. If she has the same caliber, at least like a Talu, a Shelly, and it's difficult for her to catch them. So
Okay.
it has to be consistent with that start. And I think they have been working on it. It has improved a bit, save that last race. Was
Mm-hmm.
so hot, but trust me.
Yeah, I definitely think her start has improved tremendously. That's something that I noticed from last year. So, and into this year, I definitely have seen, where her start has been much better than what it was last year. Clearly, not challenging what Shelly, is capable of doing, or Brianna. Some of these really, really fast starters, but still, competent enough, I believe, in the world class field. So, all right, so Shakis, you heard from Coach. He believes that there's going to be a toss up between for the rest of the spots on the team, but Sharika has clearly separated herself from the field. For the men, two have separated themselves, and then it's a toss up for that final spot. So let's see how that goes. I'm really really looking forward to it. So coach, I'm just going to take a few comments. I don't know if you're going to stick around for the comments, or if you want to drop off, just let me know. I'm just going to take a few comments and then I'm going to wrap up. Coach?
Yeah, man, I'll stick around.
Okay, all right. So let me just go in and see what some persons are saying here. Um, duh. Somebody says they don't see Brianna running a 10-8 at trials, maybe a 10-9-8. Are they underestimating her?
It's not really underestimating her. It's just that how the season go, how it has started. Um,
Mm-hmm.
she ran in New York, and she put down the same time as she ran in Kingston. And if you look at the wind reading in New York, she should have been faster.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's a whole lot of variables that contribute to an athlete running fast. She's back from a hamstring injury and all of these things. So it's kind of difficult to, and that's why I don't like to put time towards athlete, because a lot of things can cause them not to, run that
Mm-hmm.
time that they really want to run.
Right.
Um, if you look at the wind reading in New York versus the one in Jamaica, I
Mm-hmm.
do believe that she should have run that 10 sub 11 in New York,
Right.
but it
Mm-hmm.
didn't happen.
Right.
So I don't know. It
From my understanding, coach, she wasn't feeling well. So to me, based on the information that I got, that was and I got this post, the live I did at the time, or maybe I think I got it after, but I realized I got some information prior to her running about how she was feeling, and she wasn't feeling the best. So after realizing that, I thought to myself, okay, this is even much better than I would have thought. But then sometimes you don't know what other athletes are going through as well.
Mhm.
So, I don't really like talking about that, but still, if I'm supposed to use the fact that she wasn't feeling her best and still run at 11:04, that to me is impressive.
Yeah, it it can be seen as somewhat impressive. I heard that she had issues. I didn't know that it wasn't about feeling well. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so it could be the same thing. But the fact
Mm-hmm.
that she went out there and she ran, and I'm looking at the
Mm-hmm.
wind reading, she got a better wind reading in New York.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that the time should have been better. But with Brianna, it's a work in progress because she's coming back from, these
Injury. Mm-hmm.
atrocities that she would have faced through early
Mm-hmm.
season, and people write her off. Well, I think that she's rounding down very nicely. I am not 10-8. I'm not putting it out of her reach, but I
Mm-hmm.
stick to my position of not calling the time because of varied reasons that I know that athletes face when
Right.
when they are competing. Nervousness, this
Mm-hmm.
that happen. The mental space is not there because something might transpire throughout the day. A whole lot of variables. And because I know that I don't normally like to put pressure on athletes read time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So Brigilin says TXT, why you keep missing DeAndre Daly? This you will take the third spot. Remember, I told you I didn't miss him. I said I had him making my top eight, and I removed Buaji and Krumi because of his issues that he had with injury. So I know I do recognize exactly what he has been doing. Do I think though it's enough to quote unquote take top three? Not necessarily, because again, that was a PB then, right? And then he would have to run possibly around that same time each round if he hopes to progress or faster, right? And the thing with these juniors is, whilst you can run a quote unquote 10, maybe four, and make it into each round and progress, when it comes to the seniors, you have to be at your best each round. So that's the question with a DeAndre Daly, in terms of whether or not he can make it into my top three. And I didn't have him, I don't have him in my top three. I have him, however, making the finals possibly. So yeah, I'm not
For
forgetting
me,
him. What do you think about DeAndre, coach?
he's a superior talent. Um, Very good. But the challenge I have with him that I believe that has hindered him from running sub 10 this season is the fact that his start is sluggish. And he believes that he can run past these juniors. If he goes into the senior trials with that sort of poor start and think that he can run back,
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna in for a rude awakening. So I like,
Different ball game.
right. I like him as an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of executing technicality, but his start is poor. I
Mm-hmm.
certainly hope that they would have worked on it and he would have gotten a little bit better. If that is worked on, trust me, sub
Mm-hmm.
11, sub 10, here he comes.
Okay. All right. Let's see if I get anything else. Interesting. Any other interesting tidbits from the comment section before we get off? Coach, not to put you on the spot since I'm scrolling through this comment section, but let me just ask you if you have a comment. If you don't want to comment, that's fine. What is your take on a relay camp?
It difficult for
You laugh.
it difficult for us
Oh, have mercy.
because of our people them stay. But truly I believe that we should have some practices being taking place, man. Because if we want to run fast, really has to do with chemistry, understanding, precision and all of these things. Um if it is not being done in a repetitive fashion and manner, then
Mm-hmm.
it's not gonna stick.
Right.
So you might have the fastest athlete, but the fourth fastest athlete doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to run fast and break a world record. That's not the case
Correct.
because the
Plus,
fact.
my issue that I'm having as well, coach, is that our top athletes are quote unquote along towards the end of their career, you'd say. So they've been out of champs for years. So their skills with the baton will not be as sharp as say the younger athletes that are coming in because they're still fresh from consistently changing the baton over the years at champs. So I'm like, we need to definitely be touching up onto this for sure, especially with the fact that USA is taking much slower athletes and defeating us. So now that they have a faster few that are expected to quote unquote make it into the team this time around, it's gonna be much worse if we don't quote unquote get this practice in.
I remember France used I think four athletes that did not run sub 10. and
Mm-hmm.
win a relay title at a world champion. I don't remember if
All
it's
right.
world championship or Olympic games. So that
Mm-hmm.
alone tell us that we need to do some practices because
Mm-hmm.
it's not about having the fast athlete. And when you have the fast athlete, it takes a lot of what you call it now, adjustments to the marker, to
Yeah,
the
because you don't want to lose the speed because it would be pointless.
right, because sometimes it depending on how an athlete feel and on a day of training, and you might give 20 footsteps in another day or two when they get faster. You have to change that to 22. So a whole
All right.
need to take into consideration. Of course, we need some practice. We need it because not because we're fast, but the greater thing in a relay is the baton. You have to get it around, and it's not just
Mm-hmm.
around. You have to get it around very slick, swift,
Mm-hmm.
precision
Right.
here, so that you can. And with the zone being changed now, it's easy for us to maximize the zone and run fast. But because
Right.
then we're gonna be always playing catch up because second leg not moving out when they're supposed to move out, third leg not moving out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Get what I mean? So
Right.
we need to practice, man. We need to practice. No doubt about that.
Yeah. All right. I'm glad I'm not the only one that thinks that we definitely need to get some practice in for sure for female athletes. And it's another thing, as well. It's a disservice to athletes of that caliber to leave the sport eventually and not have the world record when all of them were running at the same time. You know what I mean? So if we have such fast athletes, see if you can get them some practice because them leaving the sport with the world record would be a great thing, I think,
But
personally.
sometimes people not thinking about world record. They're thinking about position. So they I think the coaching staff rather the gold medal than the world record. The world record is really for the fans. Um, they might talk about it, but again, at the end of the day, safety first. And
Yeah,
and
but they're not going to talk about it, coach, because they're not getting a practice. If they were getting practice, then maybe it would be on the table. But again, it's not on the table because they're not really getting any practice. So everybody's like, okay, just get it around safely enough for the win because we know you have the foot speed anyway. So you're clear, you can clearly separate yourself even if you have mishaps. But maybe it's not enough for a world record. But really, when are we going to see such great athletes that are running together at the same time again you never know, you can never tell what's going to happen in the future, so I'm saying, take advantage of this moment and get the girls some practice and let's see if we can break the relay world record. And also I hear them saying about Jamaicans can't focus on relay because they have to focus on the individual event. I find that very strange because every other country can focus on relay but Jamaica. It seems to be our athletes that can't focus on the relay, and every other country's athletes can focus on relays, whether it's a 400-meter 4x4 relay or the 4x1. It seems to be our athletes alone that have an issue with focusing on the relay. What do you make of that?
yeah, that goes to show the emphasis we place on the relays. It's about individual glory and what players what yeah, yeah, but talk about players. What athletes can actually gain individually. So sometimes a little bit of selfishness comes in, and they are
Mm-hmm.
able to work together as a unit. To especially on the female side, females emotional
Yeah.
and all of these things. So it kind of difficult. Some might feel like they know more. Some want to run this leg, that leg. I mean, it's difficult to deal with, especially at least at this level, because a
Mm-hmm.
man can say, "Yo, I've been there, done that."
Right.
You know what I say?
Yeah, that's
So
true. But I feel like they need to figure out a way though. Figure something out because again, that's their job. Yeah, but to move on from that, somebody's saying that they see Janelle taking out Brianna and Kemba at trials, finishing ahead of them. That's possible.
Of course, she ran 11-1 this season. She has done it.
All right.
So it is
Okay.
possible. Nobody but no secure except Sherika.
But Sherika's spot not secure either, because Sherika have to run only the defending champion Shelly and Fraser Price spot is
But,
secure.
but
She still has to run.
based on prediction and what Sherika has done and the caliber athlete,
Right.
she would have been the most secure of all. So
Right.
everybody else are coming out the bunch here, so them have got put and not even hands on her. They have put out all the stops to ensure that they get on the plane to Budapest.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so that's it. I won't be taking any more comments because track is I'm trying to keep the show as short and spicy as possible so that for playback purposes, obviously, you don't have to be spending hours on a video. So, coach, do you have any final take as it relates to trials as it relates to the sprint events, both males and females before we head off?
Thanks for having me, T. Big up to your viewers and your subscribers. For me, I can't wait, and I'm excited, and I'm ready to put my eyes on my television screen or whatever screen I'll be watching it on, to see some very good performances inside the National Stadium.
Agreed. I'm looking forward to some really fast times. Come trials based on what I've been seeing from the athletes. I'm impressed with what our men are doing. They're really returning and they're coming, coming with deadly force, and the rest of the world better watch out for sure. From our females, it may seem as though we're not as strong in our trackies, but they're still around and they're still coming to strike. I see the rest of the world talking about everybody else, dismissing Jamaica as though, we won't, contend, but Shelly's are still around, Sharika is still there, and we're hoping that Elaine can return as well and be a part of the dominant three to brush away the rest of the world. But of course, it starts at trials. So we're looking forward to seeing the excitement. We're ready and we're waiting. Of course, I get a little nervous around this time as well, but still, I'm getting those happy jitters. Shakis, look out for your athletes, support your athletes. With that said, thank you so very much for joining. Thank you so very much, Coaches Dex, again for being a part of the live and letting me know, about your thoughts on a few topics here. Trackies, you know how it go. Mega catch you in the one next one. Toodaloo.